Next, coming to the symptoms and signs. Now, first of all, 1/3 of them are asymptomatic. 1/3 are asymptomatic. Just like fibroids, around 50% are asymptomatic. Here it is 1/3. That means 1/3 is around 30%, 33% are asymptomatic. Now, what are the common symptoms? The most common symptom, which is actually pointing towards adenomyosis, is menorrhagia and secondary dysmenorrhea. Okay, menorrhagia and secondary dysmenorrhea, when they go together hand in hand, then they kind of point towards adenomyosis more than the fibroids, because fibroids generally are not painful. They may have menorrhagia, polymenorrhagia, but they are not very painful. So pain, dysmenorrhea, that is secondary dysmenorrhea plus menorrhagia, points towards adenomyosis plus the age, around 40-45, right? Now, why does the dysmenorrhea happen? This is due to the retrograde pattern. The retrograde pattern of uterine contractions. Why retrograde? Because the myometrium is now having endometrium inside and there is blood collecting inside. So retrograde pattern of uterine contractions can lead to more pain, plus there is blood collecting inside. Wherever there is endometrium, the blood is collecting there whenever it is bleeding. So blood collects inside the myometrium. Okay, so these are the two causes of dysmenorrhea. Then dyspareunia is another cause, another way it presents, because of the enlarged uterus. So there may be dyspareunia, that is painful sex. Then increased frequency of urination because of the enlarged uterus sitting on the bladder. As I told you in previous videos also, that wherever the uterus is heavy, it sits on the bladder and that causes increased frequency of micturition. Okay, so enlarged uterus, any kind of enlarged uterus, whether it is a pregnant uterus or it has a fibroid or adenomyosis, that can give rise to urinary symptoms. Then there is infertility and miscarriage. Not very commonly seen, infertility and miscarriage, because adenomyosis as such presents after the age of 40. Okay, but some patients may have an early onset of adenomyosis, because in these cases, in adenomyosis, endometrium is invaginating inside the myometrium. So obviously the baby will not have a good atmosphere to implant. So that is probably the reason of infertility and miscarriages, right? What are the signs? What are the signs for adenomyosis? Now we have discussed what is a Halban sign. Okay, what is a Halban sign? Halban sign is a soft, boggy uterus which is tender. So this is positive in Halban sign, is positive in adenomyosis. It is not seen in any other condition. Neither a pregnant uterus nor a fibroid uterus, it will never show a Halban sign positivity. Okay, so Halban sign means a mobile, tender uterus which is boggy, bulky, but has a very regular contour because there is no lump inside, plus there will be no adhesions. Endometriosis as such, when it is endometriosis externa, it will have adhesions, but endometriosis interna, when it is inside the uterus, it will show no adhesions. So it will be a mobile, bulky or boggy, tender uterus with a smooth contour. Okay, remember this. You might get certain questions which are like kind of pointing towards certain disease. So these points, these key points are very important to diagnose adenomyosis. All right.